everybody. Welcome to this episode of Backstage. This is the Advanced Podcast, and today I am joined by world traveler Ellie Lacey.
What's up?
And world star Peter Bostanzik.
World star.
World star. Y'all feeling good today?
Yeah, feeling great.
Feeling awesome.
Feeling great.
Well, if you have spent any amount of time frustrated with where you are in life, or if you have ever felt like you just wish the future would come, or you wish you could go back to the past when things were better, this is the podcast for you. Because I don't know about you two, but I find myself on a regular, almost daily basis. I'll just be driving or whatever, doing dishes, and I'll just think back to something horrifically embarrassing that I did, and I will physically wince. I'll just be sitting there driving. I'll just go, So I was wondering, do either of you have anything that, whether it's like a sound that you hear, a song that plays, something you see on TV, is there something that triggers an embarrassing memory for you just every time you see it or hear it?
Oh, absolutely. I'm the worst at that. I think back on memories. I call them my crawl under the table and die moments in life, where I was like, yeah. So there was this one time I was in college, and there was this guy that I had a really big crush on. He was a soccer player. So every time that I think about soccer, this memory comes to mind. Even see a soccer ball, and there's just flashbacks. So I'm standing there on this field, and I'm trying to flirt with this guy and be all cute, and so I'm just giving him my undivided attention.
As
when
you do.
all of a sudden, this soccer ball comes out of nowhere and nails me like right in the temple. And I mean, it was such a loud thud that everyone on the whole field and the surrounding areas like turns and they look at me. And how do I respond? Because I have no clue how you respond to this situation. So I literally just say nothing, do nothing, stone cold, stand there and just keep talking. Like carry on the conversation. Like nothing ever happened.
Respect.
When really I should have laughed about it and be like, whoa, that was crazy. But I just like stood there, and finally he's staring at me and he's like, are you okay? I was like, I'm fine, and just moved.
Man.
I did not play that off cool.
Were you wearing glasses at the time?
No, I was not wearing
that's
glasses.
good.
This was a pre-glasses
Man.
day. Yeah.
I'm imagining it being one of those where you just hear the impact and then you hear just a crowd of people go, ooh.
Yes, exactly. And everyone knew that I was standing there flirting with him, so it made it even worse.
What if somebody did it on
So
purpose?
awkward.
Whoever
So
kicked
it's
the ball was just
Probably.
like,
Hey man,
Probably.
I bet you can't hit that girl while she's talking
Someone was
to
out
our
to get
guy.
me.
Someone was out to get you.
So awkward.
I have a story. So this happened to me in middle school.
Okay.
And so I don't think I will ever be a performer of any kind because of this story. So in fourth grade, we were doing some school play thing, and it was like about the Americas. Okay.
Great.
And so there were all these various like song portions and things, and I was sick one week, and my awesome friends that I have volunteered me for this like rap part of this like America's rap, which sounds terrible as it is.
were they volunteering you because they're like, he'll do awesome, or because they're like, he's going to tank and we want to watch?
I don't know. I was just mad at them that they voluntold me, essentially. So anyway, so there were two performances, one for like the school, one for the parents. Okay. So the school one was first. It happened like during school hours or whatever. We're up there, like the thing's going great, and it's like I have like a solo part in this like rap song thing. So there's two verses. I get up there, things are going well, crushing this first verse. Like we hit the chorus, we're about to go into the second verse, and I have no clue what the second verse words are.
Oh.
So I just repeat the first verse again. So, and it overall was like okay, but it was like everyone knew it's like, oh, he totally forgot, like he messed up. And so then like on the school bus, I remember like I was on the school bus. I'm like, that didn't go well. This window is down, and there's a kid on the bus next to me, and he's like, hey, are you the kid who like messed up the rap? And I was like, it was a slide under the table moment where I was like, yes, that was me. And so thankfully I did well at like the parents part, but but that one did not really go well.
But there was a lot more people at the school one.
Probably, yeah. So anyways, yeah.
Man.
So it was
That's fantastic. So
It's
are you just
something.
like anytime
You're a
you
rapper.
see like a talent show, are you just like right back there?
Sometimes I think it's more like performance. Like I know I will never like be on stage like acting or performing or things. And I've gotten a little bit better, like because I'm on stage semi-frequently now.
Right.
But like when it's things where I have to like memorize lines or things like that.
When
I'm
you're
like,
reciting something, giving a speech.
I'm like that stresses me out. Like,
Stay away from rap music
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Not your genre anymore.
Man, well, what about the memories that you enjoy? Like what, as you look back over your middle and high school career, what was your favorite, just your favorite memory? Like when you think back and you're like, yeah, that was good. What's your favorite middle or high school memory?
Middle school was good. Like it wasn't great, but like middle school was fine. But I don't think I have any like amazing
Is
memories
middle school
from
really
middle school.
great for anybody?
It's true. Middle school is hard. Like we all know this. But in high school, I have like a lot of really awesome memories. But like one that comes to mind for me at least is so. I think this was my senior year, maybe my junior year, but it was probably my senior year because my parents got really relaxed on the curfew my senior year.
Nice.
And so like I was hanging out with a bunch of my buddies, and it was the weekend, and so we just like ended up staying up like all night, and we played like video games. My buddy had a pool, so we were like swimming in the pool until like 2 a.m. Then we like hop in the car. We're going to cookout at like 2:34 in the morning,
Wow.
and like doing like Chinese fire drills, like running around the car or whatever. And so like it was awesome. I think it was either like start of senior year or end because it was warm outside. But it was just like that was just like a really good memory of just like time, just like with friends, and it's like nothing was more important than just like those moments like
hanging
right
out.
there. Yeah,
Man.
it was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ellie, what about you? What's your favorite
So I don't know
memory?
if this is my all-time favorite, but it's definitely the one that immediately came to mind.
Yeah.
So when I was in the end of middle school, like very beginning of high school kind of years, for 4 years in a row, my friend would have a slumber party for her birthday. And every single year, her mom would load us up in her minivan and take us to go and TP our youth pastor. And on the same date every
Wait,
single
her
year
mom-
for
her
4
mom?
years,
Wait, yeah, her mom
would take
supported
us,
this?
drive us in the minivan, drop us off. We would TP everything, like including the cat. Then we load back up and go back. So the fifth year, we go back, and they finally caught on. So they had this huge like guys slumber party at their house, and when we went and when we like got out of the car to go and TP their house, they came out and they egged us, and they egged the inside of her mom's minivan and everything. Her brand new minivan. So she was not happy. Needless to say,
she
that was the
sup-
last year.
That was her fault.
Yeah,
She
that was
set herself up for
absolutely
that,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
She would have been ready for that for
Man,
sure.
God
So,
bless that youth pastor though.
Yeah. Man.
You said it was the same day every
The
year?
same day.
was the date? Do you
every
remember?
Single year. It was in March, actually.
Yeah?
So we're coming up on the anniversary. Yeah.
You want to
Let's-
just figure out where he lives and just go, we can
I'm
take a
in.
road trip?
Let's go. Haven't seen him in like 10 years, but it's cool.
I'll be like, Ellie? Is that you?
She's back.
Man, what I kind of wanted to hit on today was just like sometimes when we're thinking about the past, or if we're eager to get to the future and we're just like, oh, I can't wait till I'm out of the house, can't wait till I change schools, can't wait till I go to college, whatever it is. And we can be so eager to, get out of where we are that we're like missing the stuff around us. So does anything come to mind for you of a time whenever you were like you hit a point in life and you look back and you're like, man, I feel like I missed some stuff because I really wish I had like capitalized on that time better.
Yeah.
Anything stick out for either of you?
Oh, totally. I'm the worst at this because I didn't actually realize this until probably last year, but I'm a dreamer, a big dreamer, and so I'm always thinking of the future, like live in the future. And so being present is very, very, very hard for me. And I think back specifically to probably like right after I graduated high school, I just felt this insane pressure to have my whole life like planned out.
Yep.
To have a career, to know exactly like what my major was going to be, all these things. And so I was so focused on the future and what I was going to do that I totally missed out on the present. And now the older that I get, I realize like you have to be present in every single moment because there are things that you need to learn in that moment that will be a catalyst for your future. And if you don't, like if you aren't present in that moment and learn what you need to learn, then the future is going to be way harder than it needs to be. So for me, I wish that I could go back and just chill out, just like take a chill pill, realize that I don't have to have it figured all out. It'll work out the way it's supposed to.
Yep.
God's got me. And so that's the time that comes to mind for me.
Yeah. Peter, anything specific for you?
I'm actually probably very opposite to Ellie. Like, I never thought about the future. Which probably drove my parents crazy. But I think that in high school, I was like, I couldn't wait to get out of Charlotte. Like, I grew up in Charlotte. I couldn't wait to get out of Charlotte.
Yep.
And then I went to college, and I was like, I'm never going back to Charlotte. Like, I interviewed for jobs out in like Colorado, like Denver. Like, I was gonna drive my car across the country, like type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, of course, I end up back in Charlotte at a job that I love with a lot of people that I love. And so, I think that I probably wish I would have just, you know, been more okay, like being where I was at that time, being okay, you know, living in Charlotte, being around the people that I have there, and just like focusing on that more so than like, I can't wait to bust out of here, get out of the city, you know. So I mean, I don't know if I have like a super specific example, but I think that was kind of a mindset.
That's good. I think I have maybe the worst of both your worlds because I'm always thinking of the future. But at the same time, I always wish I could go back to the better days of the past, and I can never seem to like enjoy what's going on now because I'll be like, I'm so excited about something, getting up to it, and then whatever that thing is happening, I'm like, after this, it's all over, and then that's I'll have to wait until like whatever the next thing is that I'm looking forward to, and so I remember specifically. Before I worked here at Forest Hill, I was working at a job I was miserable in, and I was just like, can't wait to get out of here, can't stand this place, you know, all that stuff. Got a job here, moved to Charlotte, and then the first year, I was like, this place is nice, but I really miss all those people I was working with. I don't really have any friends here. And it's just this constant, it's like you can never quite be happy with where you are. And that's, I mean, I still struggle with that, you know, even leading up to like the trips that we take every year or like a vacation. I'll be excited going up to it. And then when we're there, I'm like, after this is over, I'm just back to it. Which I don't mean it to sound as sad as it maybe does, but this is something I struggle with, is like being content with where I am. So if you were to give advice to somebody on how to like make the most of now, on how to enjoy the present, how not to get trapped in the past, but also how to not be so concerned with what the future is going to be that you miss what's going on. What's your advice? What is your advice for like the best now?
So I experienced this a little bit when I had an awesome opportunity to study abroad in Australia, and so I was over there for about 4.5 months. And before going over there, I'm pretty sure it was my parents, but they were like, "Hey, don't worry about like what's going to happen when you come back. Don't worry about like money or how you're going to afford things," because they know I'm very like conscious of those types of things or things like they were like enjoy everything. Like this is like a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity. And so when I got there, I did that. Like I didn't think twice about like, oh, I'm going to go skydiving and bungee jumping and I'm going to go play in Australian nationals for ultimate frisbee, like because I got that invite. And so it was like, I'm gonna like make the most of these opportunities. And and I feel like those like 4 months right there were some of like the best months. And part of that was because I was so just present focused. Like I wasn't really worried about what was going to happen when I get back, like what was my school schedule when I got back, how was I going to afford rent, like all those things. And it was just like a trust. It was just a trust that I was going to be taken care of. Like I'm going to be okay. It's not the end of the world, you know, if if the one thing happens or that one thing happens. It's like, no. Like these moments matter now. And, you know, so that was kind of my...
That's good. What about you, Ellie? What's your advice for making the best of now?
I think to put it really simply, just relax. Like I said earlier, like take a chill pill. I've always felt this pressure just to have it all figured out. And I wish, and I still do, honestly. I feel kind of like a hypocrite giving this advice because most days I really struggle with this. And I think that, but the thing that's given me a lot of comfort is just knowing that God has my future in his hands and he knows exactly what needs to happen, exactly when it needs to happen. And I just need to relax, be present in every moment, and he's going to make it all work out. That doesn't mean that I need to be lazy. Like I need to do everything that I can to make my life awesome. But God will take that and he'll make it even better and he'll get me to where I need to be. So I think just trusting and believing and relaxing and just like being as present as you possibly can, not worrying about it so much.
Yeah, that's good. I think mine is probably in a sermon I heard probably about a year and a half ago, and the guy said, if you're unhappy with where you are in life, and if you're like frustrated or whatever the case is, if you can change your circumstances, you should do it. Like God doesn't just want you to sit there and be miserable or anything like that. Yeah. But if you can't change your circumstances, change your perspective. And that, it's easy to say that, it's a lot harder to do it, but just, it's not just like flipping a switch, but if you are unable to change whatever your circumstances are right now that you're not happy with, and whether that's you yearning for the past or just like itching to get to your future, change your perspective. Like look at like, how can I capitalize on this now? What am I going to remember 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You don't miss the work that you did. You miss the people that you were with.
Exactly.
So it's like, pay attention to the people.
Right.
Like that's always going to take precedence.
Well, and it's so much about balance. I feel like as you get older, like it's just increasingly more and more about balance. So, middle school, it's like, I feel like we're so pressured to be like, okay, I need to make sure I take these classes in middle school so that I can take these classes in high school so that I look this good when I'm about to go to college. And that happens in middle school. Yeah. Like that's crazy. And then you get to high school and now all of a sudden like you can drive and you're like, oh, wait, so now I have to figure out how to balance these like, okay, I have these desires to do well in school, but also I have these desires to hang out with these people and to do all these things. And so like, it's all about balance. And I think that, I mean, you hit the nail on the head with just like, what am I going to remember like way down the road? Like we used to guilt trip our friends into this. Like we would be like, hey man, are you going to tell your grandkids about the time that you stayed in and studied? Or are you going to tell them about the time you came and, did whatever with us at 2 a.m, So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you have to find that balance. And that's super important as you go into high school and then eventually go into college. And now even now, like as a 26-year-old adult, I'm like, that balance is still important when it comes to work, social life, relationships, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Man, that's good.
I saw this thing on Instagram the other day. It was this quote, and it said, what if what you're going through right now is preparing you for the future that you prayed for and wanted? And I thought that was super impactful because it just means good or bad, whatever you're going through right now is preparing you for something. Like everything is meaningful in your life and adds up to something. Like God does not put you through things or through seasons in life that don't add up to something that goes towards your future. So I just thought that just really stood out to me, and I've been thinking a lot about that the past couple of days. But I'm totally with you. There is a balance, but I think whenever you have the opportunity to have a great moment in life, you need to seize the day and go for it.
Boom.
Yeah.
That is a great place to stop. Thanks both of you for sitting down at the table. Hope you can
Thanks
come
for
back.
having us,
Great.
Chess.
It was an honor. Thanks.
For everybody watching and listening, make sure you like this, send it to your friends, share, subscribe, and we will see you next week backstage.